Hello, my name is Tara. Welcome to Tara's Mental Calibration. Just for the disclaimer, I am not a mental professional by any means. Everything I talk about is from my own experience. Take whatever you need to take, but don't apply it if it doesn't. And trigger warning, I may talk about things you do not want to talk about. So, we're just going to go ahead and get into it. For today's episode, I am talking about why are you healing? What made you decide to heal? Or what made you start listening to things? I think sometimes we can get so caught up in our healing because as you heal and you start looking at things, you can develop tunnel vision to where you don't even see the reason why you're doing it, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for somebody else. I know that they say you shouldn't heal for other people, but sometimes other people is the catalyst that you need in order to get started in healing. Um, but of course, it's good to do it for yourself as well. So, for myself, I have a hard time when it comes to setting boundaries. I feel guilt um, when I set boundaries. So I got tired of feeling that guilt. I got to a point where I realized that the reason why I feel so guilty is because I was trained to abandon myself. And so when I set boundaries now, it's like it's very difficult for me to do. I was raised by, you know, people that were very out for themselves and everything had to be about them. And if it wasn't about them, then I was made to feel selfish in some kind of way. Um, I was raised in an environment where speaking up for myself um, made them like turn me into the villain because they didn't like what they heard. Um, I was never safe around them to speak what was going on with me. And part of the reason why I decided I wanted to heal was to feel safety and to feel love and support and knowing that people can be walking a different life, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't support another person. I think people get things misconstrued sometimes where they're like, I can't support you because I'm not walking down your path. Well, who the fuck asked you to? You can support somebody and still live a different life. And I'm speaking in terms of when people don't see things eye to eye or they don't see things on the same plane, they can feel like they're being turned away or being turned against when really that's not the case. What's coming to mind right now for me is when I decided to quit drinking. When I decided to quit drinking, my friends call me a sellout. And it's like, no, you can continue fucking drinking, but I don't want to. And they made it such a big deal that we stopped being friends because they were looking at it like I was um, judging them instead of looking at it like, okay, I'm glad that she's healing. They don't have to, you know. I do think that a lot of the time people want you to adapt to their toxicity and, you know, sometimes it comes up of why didn't you have the conversation? Why didn't you talk to them? Why didn't you tell them how you felt? Why didn't you just, you know, put things down and let them know? But the thing is that when you do decide to bring something up, it can get flipped or minimized, or in my case, even get, I get shunned, isolated, you know. And that's not really a conversation that is set up for you to win when you're talking to somebody who doesn't want to hear. Um, it ends up being about you defending yourself instead of being heard by another person. And there's been numerous occasions that I have felt that way, not necessarily just when I decided to quit drinking, you know. But I had to look at my why. Like, why do I want to get away from this? Why, like I was doing some really stupid shit. So I wanted to open up to more supportive people, a more sense of family type of dynamic, instead of being around people who did not stand behind me when I chose to do something in a good way. Um, and the thing is that I have been so controlling about my relationships that I didn't want to let go, that it's like I've been best friends with them, or I have been dating them for a while, or I have put so much time into this relationship. And, that's a sense of trying to control something simply because you have the discomfort of shifting and moving. And the funny thing is that you would be amazed what happens when you stop trying to do the universe's job. When something is meant for you, like if you manifest something to where you want to leave, or no, let me take that back. When you manifest something and you want something better in your life, that might mean leaving. That might mean getting the hell up out of Dodge. That you have to be open to shifts and trusting the universe in the process. And that's a very scary thing, especially when you love people, and you don't want to lose certain friendships or relationships, or siblings. I've lost my sister. It's a done deal. She's long gone. Because I've chosen to not live in a dark space anymore, of not having boundaries, keeping the truth to myself because it made somebody else uncomfortable. That's been a major thing when it comes to my family, is that you can't speak truth. Everything that I have spoken truth on had nothing to do with my actions, that had everything to do with somebody else's. Because as a child, when you have sexual predators um, fucking with you, that child isn't doing anything to bring that attention on. So it really wasn't my fault. But, I had quite the slap back when I brought stuff up, you know. And the thing is that maybe when it comes to healing, depends how long you've been doing it. Like I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm just now getting to a part where it's like maybe I don't need more time to heal. I have forgiven so much. I have looked at so many things. I can talk about things and not cry anymore. Like I've gotten to a point of forgiveness to where certain things just don't bother me anymore. And it's not that I have forgotten, and it's not that I have discarded it. I know what happened to me, and I stand for myself that it should not have happened. But I think I'm actually at the point where I don't need more time to heal. What I need now is more experiences that show my nervous system a different reality. I need to make new memories for myself. And I'm actually working on that. I'm working on giving myself better experiences to let myself know that I'm safe. I am not focusing so much on being that victim mentality of being angry about what happened to me. I do think that there has to be some kind of balance of fun and a balance of healing. And when you're in the midst of healing, it's really hard to have fun because it's like, how can I have fun through remembering all this shit? How can I have fun because I'm in the thick of it right now? But you have to balance it because those fun times that you have with people that actually support you is what's going to get you through those tough times. So it's like when it comes to my family, I had to realize that it's not that they dislike me because I did something wrong. They dislike me because I see clearly and I see them for what they are. I see them for who they are. And I spoke about it. I noticed the manipulation that goes on in my family, catching the lies before they try to use them, you know. Um, People can dress things up as the truth when really it's a big fat lie. And, you know, you get to a point where you can see like every twist to every situation until they look like the victim. It's like, how dare you speak about this? How dare you talk to me about the wrong I've done? Or how dare you talk about another family member that has done something wrong? You're just judgmental and you're just a mean person. I've been called a mean person because I called out a sexual predator. So it's like people like that, they don't really get angry at mistakes. They get angry at being exposed. They're not angry with me for what they feel is a mistake, which is me speaking out. They're angry because I'm exposing them and because I have exposed them. And I have noticed that like in different relationships that I've been in, people having that same mindset. And like I was saying in previous podcasts, it's really amazing how once you start healing, you can see a pattern of what kind of people have been around you that have put you into the same victim mentality over and over and over again since childhood. So it's like you can't really spend your entire life with the mentality of my trauma fucked me up. And that's why I am the way I am. Instead of learning how to heal and grow from your trauma, you can be your own problem at that point. And so this was my why. That was part of my why. I don't want to be a victim anymore. I don't want to be in that victim mindset anymore. And, I don't want my trauma to be who I am. And that's why I am trying my best to make new memories and, document them and put that energy out there and be free. Be free. I have worked so hard. I've had such a hard life. It is time for me to be free from all the bullshit that I didn't place there. So it's like people are going to get mad when you get to the point of refusing to take their bullshit. And the thing is that it's like, let them get angry. Let them go ahead and get angry and they can be alone and their bullshit can keep them company, you know? And even if they do have people in their lives that accept their manipulation, that's not helping them grow any people who don't know who they really are or wasn't there to see them change and, all this other stuff. It's like I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship where you break up with somebody and then they turn around and they go be with somebody else and you think that the person that they're with is, oh, they're better than me. And you go through that whole thing of thinking that you're not good enough. But really, that's not the case. It's all a facade. It's all a facade of whoever left your life is trying to make you feel like you're less than because you made them feel like they're less than for doing whatever it was that they did. So I have to work on myself because I do understand that I am responsible with where I end up. And not everything that happened to me was by somebody else's hands. I have to take accountability for that. You know, what I mean by that is like how I responded to it. Like once it happened, how I responded to it was on me. Every habit I took up, like drinking or smoking, every decision I made, making bad decisions with money, just running myself into the dirt, everything I did after the trauma, that was me. And knowing that distinction is everything. Blaming somebody else is really easy. Ownership of what actually happened afterwards, that's a game changer. That will change your life once you look at that. Once you look at what you're actually doing, even in the moment of right now, what are you actually doing? Are you isolating? Are you pushing good people away? Are you just living out of straight anger and you're not having any kind of balance of true fun? Are you, I look at it like this. I know that I'm a good person and I've gotten to the point where um, I'm going to be as far away from you as you push me. So if I seem like I'm really, really, really far away from you, it's because you pushed me out there. So I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to say that behavior doesn't hurt my feelings because it does. But I'm really at that place now where I want to build up something different. And I've actually been working on it, right? Like I went back to school. That was something major. I'm looking into some mentoring programs with the school district, to like help children and stuff like that. And, because I don't have any kids. And it's just, I'm looking forward to surrounding myself with people who actually care about me, how I feel, how I see things, and actually want to connect and bond with me instead of, just using me for whatever it is that they want to use me for and then push me away until they decide to call upon me again, you know? And here's the fucked up thing about all this, right? Like, I used to want people to like fight for me, but instead they fought against me. Like I wanted them to be like, no, I want you in my life and I want you there. There is a difference that becomes clear once the door closes behind you. Fighting for a relationship means protecting what you share. Fighting with you means protecting themselves from responsibility. So anybody who fights against you or is super resistant, just know that they are protecting themselves from accountability. They are protecting themselves from taking responsibility for their actions. And that is not anything that you can control. You have to just let them do it. Because, like, if you know that you are genuinely good to people, it is never your loss as to them leaving or pushing you away or, you know, being mean to you. Their karma is getting set. And no matter what, I know that I can never, and it always pops out like this. It doesn't matter how much problems it causes me. Being my authentic self has caused so many problems with toxic people that I used to get like a big knot in my stomach just thinking about, oh fuck, I shouldn't have seen that. I shouldn't have seen the truth because now I got to bring it up. Now I got to bring that shit up because I can't just know the truth about something and just sit on it, you know? So I don't ever trade my authenticity for anybody's approval. Eventually it ends up coming out. I'm looking at it now like, let the bitches dislike me. Let them dislike me. Let them do whatever it is that they do and let them dislike me. And the why am I doing this? So I can be free, so I can be treated right, so I can let go of what doesn't need to be here, and it opens me up to things that are meant to be here. I don't want my closet overfilled with bullshit, so much bullshit that I can't even see the door. I don't want to be in so much darkness that I can't see the light. And sometimes you have to create your own light. And now I am in the process of creating my own light instead of wanting somebody to do it for me. It's like, oh, if only they would treat me better, then I would have this, this, and this. That's not true. You can treat yourself better by removing yourself from the situation by any means possible. And before anybody talks about, oh, I can't leave yet and I can't do this, I've been in abusive relationships where I had to plan, where I think it took me like three years. I want to say 3 or 4 years to get out of a situation. And it took a lot of planning and it took a lot of focus, and I had to get my money together, and I had to do all this secretively because I was with a diagnosed narcissist and I had to get out. It was killing me. It was absolutely killing me. So there are people that will help, and it does take time. If you are in that kind of situation, I recommend you study up on narcissism and study up on how to deal with them if you can't leave just yet. And it's also important to get therapy, have a therapy support system. I recommend everybody get therapy anyway. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you have anything that you want to email me about, please email me at Tara's Mental Calibration, all one word, no spaces, at gmail.com. Again, that is Tara's Mental Calibration at gmail.com. So I'm sending you a bunch of love and light, and I hope you're having a great week, a great weekend coming up, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.